Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, support the channel and get my live trading, daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, and all kinds of long term and short term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into the market. So what we got here on stock market as of Friday, we got Dow going absolutely nowhere, Nasdaq also pretty flat, S&P hitting all-time high and then going flat for the day, and Russell going down just over 0.5%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top, leading the way on Friday. Last week, basic materials, technology, consumer defensive, real estate, and everything else pretty much was red for the day or pretty flat. Week to date performance here last week, basic materials led the way, technology, healthcare, industrials, financial communication services, energy, and then consumer defensive was lagging behind. Stock market map, what do we have here? You can see Nvidia was up 1%, Broadcom 0.5%, Tesla down 2%, Meta down 0.5%, Amazon flat, Apple flat. We got Microsoft also going flat for the day. Fear and greed index now back on greed, reading at 56. So we'll see how that plays out going into tomorrow's session. So now I think we need to talk about big names, and I think we need to get started on Nvidia stock. All right, so on Nvidia stock, it was up 1% on Friday, but you can see it actually got over that 190 mark. We got up to almost 193, guys. So Nvidia, this breakout took place, and it's looking really good for more upside. But we got a doji type of candle on Friday, so maybe we get another opportunity on Nvidia if we get some sort of a pullback into the gap or even at 184. So going into tomorrow's session, 190 gives up, we could see a drop down to 186, maybe even down to 184, and then the gap below 181.45. Now, as long as Nvidia remains over 190, you could see more upside, definitely up to this high right here, and that is around 195.62 on Nvidia stock. On Tesla stock is down 2%. So, a couple of things I want to clear. Now that the news is out, and that is a delayed news that Elon Musk actually took a position here, and now that position is up by $200 million right now. And I mean, who knows, it could be even bigger. That's the news right now. But when people were just saying that, oh, it's going to 500, 600, 650, you don't know when Elon is going to start selling, right? It's been that way always. Elon is the guy who actually buys Tesla, when it's down, and then when the stock goes up, he sells, and that's how he's getting richer and richer every day. And not that only Elon is doing that, there's so many others that actually do the same thing. So Elon Musk, that position, who knows? Maybe he's selling out as we speak right now. He'd be selling even more, and the stock can come down. Because if he bought here and that position is up by $200 million right now, who knows? He could be selling, or there might be a little bit more upside where he would sell at 500, maybe even 520, somewhere there, right? At some point. So, looking at those flows that we get every day, those are delayed. A lot of people don't get it. They think, okay, I see a 500 target, 550, it's going to get there. Let's just go in, not knowing that it's trading at almost 500 and what upside you have. And Elon bought right here. So he might be selling and you might be buying his bag right up here. It's just pathetic way to put these things out, especially when it comes to these flows that come in. They're always delayed. There's nothing that is actually going to say when he bought, when he sold exactly. And if you find that, let me know. I'll pay whatever they charge, exact time, exactly when they bought. Nobody shares that, guys. Now we are getting news that Elon bought here. The position is up already big time. So just like Bitcoin, you see a lot of buying and selling. Nobody knows who's selling. BlackRock, Trump, his sons, who's selling? Nobody knows. Who's buying? Nobody knows. People are just predicting things. All we have to do is follow the chart. when things are at extreme, overbought, overvalued, you don't go and chase anything. Just like Tesla here, definitely chasers that are holding 500 calls, they're pretty much down unless they're really smart and they sold right here. You can see this trend line broke here from back here. It's been going up in a straight line, and now finally we broke below this trend line. Not that it cannot go up again, but definitely there is something to take a note of, that Tesla actually broke the trend line, and now there will be resistance at 483. If we can get over that, watch out for this top right here at 492 before heading up to that 500 range. If Tesla drops even more, we could be filling this gap at 463, and this is going to be a key zone for Tesla because we have 461, the 20-day moving average gap at 463, and you can see a lot of trading around that range. So that support has to hold. If we go under that level come next week or the week after, there is going to be significant, and I mean significant, selling here on Tesla down to 444, 432 into like 400s. Very quickly that can happen on Tesla. On AMD, it's absolutely flat on Friday, and there is not much going here on AMD. And if you look at my screen, it's just holding at 214.48, just at 215 here. So as long as we stay over these moving averages, we can hold at 214. We could see a push towards that 226 mark. If this thing does not hold here and we get under that 214 level, we could be going into that 203 and possibly even lower into this gap at some point. On Meta, it's down 0.64%. So Meta again went down on Friday, and you can see it's barely holding on to the 664. Underneath that level, there will be support right here. These moving averages, that's going to be around that 557 mark. And if it gets under that level, we could see a flush all the way down to 638. And from there, it can go much lower. Now, Meta can clear these highs right here. That's going to be around that 676. We could see a move up to 682, and then this gap comes into play, which is not even in the picture as of right now. On Microsoft, it's absolutely flat on the day. So it actually went down, but then came back up, and just a flat day. And we got really low volume. And that's gonna be the same thing, I think, going into next week. That we're not gonna see a lot of volume up until January 5th, Monday, which is the following week. So here on Microsoft, if you look at my screen, I mean, yes, you can call this a giant bear flag also, but then within that bear flag, this could be a mini bull flag right here. And if this is going to play out, we need to clear 489, then we can go to 492, maybe even 495, up to 500, and this gap comes into play once we get there. But first of all, we definitely need to get over these highs right here, and that's going to be that crucial level that we have to break and hold. That is at 492. To the downside, critical support right here, you can see 486.68 underneath that 20-day moving average, 484, and just below that 480, and then all the way down here at 472. On Google, stock is down 0.22%, so Google is down, but not under that 314 mark. So as long as Google remains over that 314, we could see a move back up to 324, 23 right here, up to these highs, and maybe even previous all-time highs at 328.67. Google breaks below 314, we could be getting a flush all the way back down to 303 to even flat 300, and underneath that there will be more downside on Google, but we need to see if that actually holds up going into this week, and especially going into tomorrow's session. On Apple stock, it's down 0.15%, so nothing big. But if you look at my screen, we actually had that breakout, and now it's trading above 272. So technically, that's looking bullish for a move up to 277, possibly even 280. Now, if this thing breaks below 272, we could be coming down to the 50-day moving average. And if you look at my screen, it's sitting just underneath that 272 mark, 271.53. So there will be really good support right here, guys, because of this trend line, 50-day, and you can see the 5-day moving average and the support itself, 272. So that level has to hold. If we go under that, we could be going down to lower band at 268, and underneath that, 265 on Apple. On Amazon, stock is absolutely flat also on the day of Friday, and it just got stuck here. You can see Doji and then another one. So I think Amazon here a little bit of push, and we can close the gap just below 234. But if this thing can push over the gap, then watch out for a move up to 236, maybe even up to 238 into 242. Now Amazon breaks below these moving averages right here. which is going to be a strong support at 230, just underneath that level. If you look at my screen, we have also support at the 20-day moving average at 229.08. And if that gives up, it's going to come back all the way down to 223, maybe even 221.26 to retest lower Bollinger Band. But it looks like Amazon can hold up these moving averages right here, 230 to 229. We could see a move towards that gap just underneath 234. We could be even hitting 236 on Amazon. On Broadcom, it's up 0.55%, so just over half a percent. And you can see this is nothing but a clear bear flag on this daily pattern. And I can show you guys right here clearly that that's actually a bear flag. But is it going to play out? Well, we have to wait and find out. You can see this thing is just bear flagging here. And we got really close to that resistance right here, 356, 357. If we can clear that, then there is more upside, possibly into 373s and even higher. But if this thing breaks down from here, that should bring us back down to 330, maybe even 324 into this gap later on, possibly going into New Year. On Netflix is up 0.89%, so nice move up over 94. Now we're holding actually 94 as a support. Before it was trading below 94, so it looks good going into New Year and especially going into this week. As long as Netflix can stay over 94, we could be targeting and getting up to that next resistance right here, which we couldn't break past couple of sessions at 97. Only if that breaks, you're going to see continuation to the upside. Perhaps you get to see a retest of daily 200 SMA, and that's going to be significant, and I mean significant upside for this stock. Now, we get under 94, that's not going to look too good for the bulls. You'll see it drop down to 91.7, and from there, we could be going for a new low on Netflix. We also have earnings coming up, I think, next month, so it's going to be a big one to watch, especially next few sessions. If this thing can actually make a move up to 97 and possibly breaks that and goes even higher. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated